Hello, welcome into this week's episode of New Blood by Night. I am your host, your storyteller, your dungeon mistress. It's a pleasure to have you on today's chapter, which is chapter 33. Let's meet our pack, starting with the one and only Luke and Anime Memes.
Hello, I'm Luke Anime Memes, and this is the last time I might be introducing myself as Azriel. I'm going to pass it on to Spectre Zero.
Hello, my name is Spectre Zero, just your average time-traveling dimension hobby android, and in this game, I'm just Aurora. Passing it over onto the amazing and always entertaining Vil.
I'm just another villain, and I just play a fledgling Samisi who's may or may not be committing crimes upon humanity and Kindred as well. Toss it on over to Jaqi.
Hello, I'm Jaqi, and I play Mori, who used to have a polycule and now just has a girlfriend that she very much loves. And with that, I guess I pass it over to our DM storyteller.
Hello! It's time for that sweet, somber, and a little bit sad recap.
So we all start in this building this construction site, this building, because Nina had gone up and as Aurora is about to follow her up and Mori as well to help out, something strange happens. A call is heard, but only by Damien and Stone. And Damien sees this. Is it illusion? Is it his mind playing tricks? Is it real? But this bat creature that hands him this pebble, is it blueberry? And the bat tells him to give it to Mia. And Stone is seen talking to something. When they both come to, Damien is perplexed about what he has saw. And Stone looks whole. Or is he? We know that there is more than meets the eye to him, and it all seems they are all of one accord survival. And we find out about, the coterie finds out, the pack finds out, excluding Azriel, which we'll get to in a moment, that there was a bat spirit or something that was talking to them. Stone and Damien have their own conversation, and Stone asks him, "Do you hear the call?" So once that is sorted, we are now go upstairs to investigate what has happened. So Mia and Nina and Fenrir go upstairs and they shuffle around this portal that the Kindred can't get through. And they find some sort of meth lab, but with blood. Turns out maybe there's some thin bloods up to no good. But the details, well, you'll just have to find out by re-listening to the previous session. So after all is said and done, Mori has to go. She has to see Azriel. There is still questions and emotions unanswered. And although there's a tussle, and although Aurora wants to be with her in that moment, knowing how things ended, it just... Heeding the advice of Stone and Damien, she lets Mori go. on her own. And that's when we go over to Azriel. Broken, lost, sobbing, destroyed. Everything that was him feels like a memory. What is more kindred? What is more man? Who's to say? But in that moment, that low, Mori comes to him. Words are exchanged. Things are said. And things are left unsaid. But it is alluded to that this will be the last time we see Azriel. Azriel Kadar, Gabriel Mustafa, deciding in that moment to step away. And Mori leaves heartbroken, wondering what could have been, what she could have done. And that is where we start.
Azriel, I need you to roll an insight and an intelligence, please. But you have a -1 circumstance bonus due to your emotional dysregulation.
That is a bestial failure.
Okay, you miss it completely. So lost in your pain. Very few things in this moment feel as if they make sense, yet they have been laws of nature since the beginning or even the pre-beginning of time, but no longer does it make any coherent reason. Nothing is conscious and everything is swirling. You are lost in malignant emotions, too raw and too thin to compartmentalize, to process, to understand. You are both numb and overfeeling. Even as Thanatos whines, looking at your hands and your face, you feel none of it. You are already possessed by the end. In fact, you don't remember locking him in the truck. You don't remember coming toe-to-toe with Damien. None of it. And then all at once, Damien speaks, and it's like a hook pulling you up from the depths of the ocean, the pressure slowly leaving your frame. And yet the water drags you down. And even though you're looking at Damien, you're not really here. You're already gone. Damien, your designated clearing, that empty, abandoned parking lot, that location you set to meet Azriel in, you find him with Thanatos. The pain is excruciating, and there's a part of you that feels good that you can take it away. You feel sure. You feel steady as a surgeon before heart surgery. You can ease him. You can make his life better. And in this fucked up world of darkness, maybe it'll do or is or will be considered a little bit of good for all the sins you're about to commit. But Azriel looks wasted, fuzzed out at the edges as if He is a puzzle piece that no longer fits within reality's fold. What do you say to get his attention? Because even after he moves up to you, Damien, it is clear that he doesn't really see you.
Imagine he's sitting down at this point. Like, kind of like, okay. You just got a Slav squat in front of you. Hey. Anybody in there? Look like you've been through the ringer.
Yeah, you could say that.
You look bloody as hell. Although, I fear asking just brings more pain than relief. Talk to me, pal. Because these are your last rites. This is it. There is no coming back.
Yeah, I know. I'm not afraid to die. Hopefully I can be useful to the group after all this. Whatever is left in my corpse.
There's a whisper in the back of your mind, Damien, this is not death. This is a new beginning. This is sacrifice.
This is your rebirth. This is your new beginning. Your reawakening.
This is your new blood.
I am your salvation.
You are my salvation.
Here's what we'll do. And he points over to like, just like, I would say like an overgrown bench that probably was used in this now overgrown clearing that once used to be a parking lot for something, but go sit there. And we can begin the process. If you have any requests whatsoever, now's the time to voice them. Otherwise,
Make sure I remember that Thanatos is important to me. That I need to protect him as well. And take good care of him.
Right. Thanatos. Got it.
Other than that, I'm all yours. And I'll go and sit down. Blink my eyes a couple times as I get ready for you.
I'm curious. What do I hear as, besides Azriel and myself? Like, is it just the ambience of the night? Is it just a cacophony of noise, crickets, frogs, maybe a breeze going through the trees? Are there, can I hear any footsteps out beyond us?
Wits and awareness.
I got 3.
Sounds quiet. There are nighttime little critters. Crickets. Some frogs out in the distance. That's it.
And he will, kind of reveling in the noise of everything. He's going to just kind of take it all in, knowing that this is, in this moment, he really can't be harmed or messed with, because this is his territory. This is his grounds. This is the place where he can walk, that no one can fuck with him. And if they do, he has every grounds and every right to put them in the dirt. So he moves over to Azriel, stands in front of him. Sorry things didn't go the way you wanted it to, but it'll be better for all of us.
I think Azriel just looks you in the eyes, and you can see that he trusts you.
Roll me an intelligence and insight, sir.
That's 3 sucks.
Okay. As this emaciated corpse, this tall, looming, brooding body kind of stands at your height, kind of crouched a bit. As he says those words, you see that lingering bit of humanity that sees you not as a tool or a puppet or a form of manipulation, but you see the remaining vestiges of humanity that Damien has left. You see that humanity for that fleeting moment as he says that. And it's probably the most sincere and honest thing that has ever come out of his mouth. You see the sadness, the empathy for someone who is going to go away. And within an instant, that is gone. And you just see resolve, focus, determination, and ambition.
I think you see Azriel just gives you a very soft smile, and the fact that you've acknowledged and seen him and the way he is in the moment. And he has just a look of respect for you, as he knows he's putting you through something difficult and hard.
Goodbye, Azriel.
This isn't goodbye, Damien.
You're right. All too right. And catching your gaze, he uses tabula rasa.
Azriel's not even going to fight it.
It is peaceful, Azriel. For you, it's peaceful. Damien, for you, the only reason you do not gain a stain is because this is another kindred. But still, a part of you breaks. A part of you dies. As this exchange happens under a waxing moon in the middle of nowhere, well, the middle of your territory, the edges of his stress, you watch them fade slowly. You watch them ease. And it brings you peace, Damien. And a part of you, a very small part of you, whispers that you could do this for Mia. You could take her pain. It would be just a moment. Need you to roll composure and resolve, please, Damien. And then Azriel, I need you to make a roll for me. Your roll is going to be, do you have Fortitude?
I do not.
Okay. Then you're just going to be rolling for a different reason, composure and resolve as well.
I got a 4.
Okay.
I got a 2.
Okay. Azriel ends up passing out at some point in this process. It isn't like an unconscious. It's like a comatose state. He goes loose, still, like kind of ragdoll. Damien, you manage to hold on the part of you that refuses to hurt Mia. You manage to stay off of that abyss. How long does Tabula Rasa take you?
All depends. Do they get better at it? Or do you want me to roll to see how fast it goes?
I mean,
Would you give him any bonus for me not fighting it at all?
yeah, probably. Because Hansen fought the whole time. What rolls does it say it needs on the discipline?
Resolve and dominate. Shockingly.
Damn.
Okay,
So just resolve and...
dominate, yeah.
Okay. And he's not resisting, so I'm going to put the DC at 2.
Yeah, I pass. I do it barely with 3
Oh my...
out of 10 dice.
I think what hangs you up, Damien, is like your inner struggle. Like, Azriel is a lamb. He's not Hansen. It's not the same. And I'm going to say it traumatizes you in a way that you're not really sure how to process. It's a loss, but it's not a loss because he's still here, but he's gone. And how easy it is because he gives in, I think also affects you quite a bit. However your character would take that, his surrender to it, his surrender to these powers that in a way you consider darker. It's a lot. It's a lot to swallow. Especially when you think about Mia, when you think about Robbie. I'm going to say because he doesn't resist and you beat the difficulty value by 1, an hour. An hour for him to actually become the blank slate. And then you begin the work of rewriting.
Once he regains consciousness, he kind of stares at him with like that blank look. Hey, do you know who you are?
No. Hello. Who are you? Who am I?
Could call me
He's just kind of looking
Artemis.
around. T. I like that
Call
name.
me Damien, but
I also like
Artemis
that
is
name.
preferred now.
Okay. Artemis. Heard. I'll remember that. Who am I?
You are 2 people in one not like the other. You are 2 split personalities. One being Michael. You're a thoughtful, kind individual and fiercely loyal as a whole. But you don't take kindly to lies, and you don't take kindly to heresy.
I see.
Then the other part is Lucian. You're an evil bastard. You're a sadistic, manipulative, lying piece of garbage. And anyone that crosses you, you feel compelled. No, you feel it as a personal right to exact your will, whether it be violence through physicality or mental means. You do it. You're one of my most loyal servants, either personality. Even to our pack, you would never betray unless you felt it within your right. It is morally wrong to a point. You yourself and your own contorted views see it as a wrong or a slight.
I understand fully, Master Artemis.
Most important person to you is Robbie. When you meet him, you'll know him.
Understood. I'll protect Robbie with my life.
He's going to rip open his wrist, open your mouth, and drink.
He just obeys.
He'll begin to feed him to give the perception of a blood bond.
Okay,
If it matters, I do have the bond slave and long bond.
it does. For
Here's a quick question: What
For your boy.
What personality is in charge right now?
You know what? I need you to make a roll for that. We're gonna be basic and have you roll a composure and resolve.
But that's one success.
Okay.
Thanks to a nice little skull on my face.
Okay. One suck. You are. Let me roll. You come to as Michael.
Good morning, Master Artemis.
Good evening. We have to do one more thing to alleviate this problem. And he has a finger up and down your body. Don't move or struggle. This might take a while.
Of course, anything you say.
Do you want me to roll for flesh crafting?
Yeah.
Because
Because you
that's fine.
could muck it up and like. Whoops. Stop.
True. Resolve. Okay.
Please do a good job.
8 out of 10.
Oh wow. So that's 8 successes.
Mm-hmm.
You do an excellent job. Do you want to describe what you do?
Yes, I'll describe it for the audience.
Okay.
So what happens is his hands just kind of begin to move into your flesh, and as they move into your flesh, it's like it just kind of turns into putty or gel in his hands. And as he does it, he kind of pulls a piece of your skin and just kind of puts it in between his fingers like you would.
It is
Something is-
incredibly painful to resist not screaming or naturally having a jerk reaction. I need you to roll. Get down. I need you to roll a stamina. Yeah. And
Stamina
a.
composure.
Yep.
Makes
No.
sense.
Stamina and mental.
Resolve?
Resolve.
Okay. Oh, that's really good. That's 7 sucks with a crit.
Okay. It's excruciating, but you manage not to flinch.
I am a good servant.
So as he continues his process, he's going to reach into your left eye and mess with the cornea, sclera, eyeball, to where when he takes his fingers out, everything's still there, but it's milky, muted, like the vision is gone, but clearly the vision is still there. It's just a visual aesthetic choice. Then with the other eye, he goes into the iris and begins to play with it. till the color comes out to almost like a hazel green. Then he goes to your neck. And as he goes to your neck, all the tattoos that were there turn into these horrid, awful scars that looks like someone with razor wire just ran them across your neck as a whole, repeatedly over and over and over again. Then as he moves down to your other arm with tattoos, it looks like there are burn marks there as he continues to play with this flesh and the skin till it looks bubbled, warped, and warbled, as if you have the worst third-degree burns a human being has ever seen in your life. And then he'll reach into a bag he has next to him and pull out some hair dye. And he will begin the process of dyeing your hair. You have to do this every night. You know the rules. You all know the rules. Ah, yes, the finishing touch. And the last thing he will do to your face is he will put a scar below and above the eye going into your eyebrow. While you do look rather horrifying, there is still a bad boy attractiveness to you now, I would say. In appearance, you look more like instead of dashingly handsome, you look like roguishly handsome. Devilishly, I guess we could say. And once he's finally done, he stands up. What is Thanatos doing right now, since he's locked in the truck?
Barking, and has been barking this whole time, over and over and over again.
Real quick question. For the one tattoo that from the ritual, did that get changed up too? Covered up? The one Stone put on me?
That is up to Damien. Did you?
It's still there.
Okay.
He could just legit lie and say, I did it. I did it, so he matches us. That way there's no question about it.
Okay.
Damien's going to move over to the car and let Thanatos out.
Okay. Thanatos runs over to Michael, sniffs, begins to growl, and backs up slowly.
Michael just looks at him vacantly. Is this one yours, Master Artemis?
No, it's a friend's. But it doesn't like you. How does that make you feel?
I don't know. It's my first time meeting a dog, I think.
It starts,
As far as I know.
or Thanatos starts to kind of whimper.
Michael kind of just cocks his head. I'm surprised it has such a strong reaction to me. Did I do something to upset the beast?
Yes.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest.
Yes. You
Oh, that's good.
poopy pants.
He's going to hand you his pistol. Kill it.
Michael will try try his best to use the gun for the first time. It's awkward. He has no experience with it, but he definitely does try to just do. Yeah.
Didn't you
No
just
question.
leave how he felt about Thanatos? His
Yeah.
one request?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he can't then. So he holds the gun aloft and can't. He cannot harm this dog.
Something seems to be defective with me, Master Artemis.
Don't worry. I could take care of it.
I'm trying.
So you go to retrieve the pistol. Thanatos barks at you, Damien. And then he bolts. And for some reason,
That solves the problem.
Michael, you have to go after the dog. You have to. You have to take care of this animal. In fact, it's so overwhelming. It overrides. And you take off. You run.
Yep, I'll run after him.
He's gone, Damien. He takes off after Thanatos.
He's not worried about it. He knows he'll be back.
Okay.
Where's he going to go?
Wherever
He's going to
Thanatos
pull
leads
out
him.
his phone. I guess he'll run after him, but he's going to pull out his phone and call Agatha one more time.
Okay. This time she
If it is
answers.
Agatha.
She does say, "Oh, I just got your message. You were so lonely you missed my voice."
It is a pleasant voice.
I'm happy to get what
How
you
are you?
need.
Wonderful. How long will it take?
Not too long. You hear like some ruffling and like movement, like she's climbing something.
What are you?
I'm whatever you want me to be. All right, Michael. I need you to roll some running around. Parkour. Huh. Parkour.
That's 6 sucks, thanks to a messy crit.
Okay. Damien, you say you're running, but are you like keeping up? You trying to keep pace?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're also rolling a dexterity athletics.
That is 1 bestial and 4 successes.
Okay, because you got the bestial failure, you actually get caught up in the conversation with Agatha and kind of lose track of them. But again, they'll be back. You know, without a doubt. But it's still mildly annoying. Which scene do you want me to resolve first, or shall we meanwhile here?
Do whatever you'd like. Dealer's choice.
Oh no. I think we will meanwhile here, actually. But before
Okay.
that, we're going to take a small pee-pee break, and then we're going to meanwhile. All I need from Mori is wits and awareness. You do have I would say a -1 circumstance bonus because of how emotional You're like on the cusp of frenzying. You're so emotional.
Oh, 100%. Yep. 4 successes.
Okay. You arrive at the scene, but the paramedics were faster. There are police everywhere. There's the smell of pain and tears. It looks like there was quite a, no, not looks, smells. It smells like there was a lot of blood. That having met Gwen, or at least seen her even on the privy of your awareness, not a lot of it is hers, which is a good and bad sign.
Right.
And so you trail listening to conversations, and you overhear some of the police officers discussing over the radio the hospital that victims were taken to. I assume Mori would then head there.
Yep, immediately. As fast as she can.
So as she moves, why don't you describe how she feels?
I don't know if there's a way for her to fully understand the sorrow that Azriel had to go through to end where he did. She actually goes back in her memory and thinks about others, people that she was raised with, people she had to kill. Wonders if they felt the same as he did.
May I add from your backstory as well?
Go ahead.
Mori has a very particular type of person she hunts. There
She
have
does?
only been, in her life so far, 2 instances that she believes it may have been an accident. One involved a 17-year-old girl. The other actually involved a 90-year-old woman. In both instances, the person, they didn't make it on either side. And the unfortunate thing about the girl that was 17 is the girl that she was with was 21. And so if they had simply waited the few months, it wouldn't have been a deal. But you remember how their religious institution reacted, the pariah they became, and then their end. And the 90-year-old woman, it wasn't anything predatory. It was just wanting to be able to babysit her grandchildren, her grandbabies. The great grandbabies. One great, but it was just, it was an unfortunate circumstance where it ended with both parties gone. Completely different situations, but something that your particular brand of Banu Hakim and protecting the young and the innocent would hunt and rectify. Azriel feels a lot like that. So it's just completely overwhelming. How you feel?
How does she feel? That the word overwhelmed. I mean,
It almost feels like you're so beyond overwhelmed. It's not even in the same zip code.
So beyond overwhelmed that she's not even sure she is who she is. That doesn't matter.
Astral projecting beyond the physical.
Yep. Beyond the physical.
You make it to the
I
hospital.
would almost say.
I would say,
actually,
because she's so emotional, I don't know that she would remember to stay, that she would, I think her disciplines, how she likes to obfuscate.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think she might just, I think her disciplines might even be inaccessible, like the focus required. And so she literally takes public transport.
Not really. She doesn't have a lot of money, so it would probably be the last of the money that she had from her previous jobs. She gave most of it to Shrike early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If anyone were to interact with her, see if she was okay, or even just stare at her, there would be no response. Just, she has one thing she can do, one thing driving her forward. A promise she made to someone she loved so deeply and dearly, and she's going to do it. Emotions can wait, even though they're actively happening right now. That's her thought process.
Okay. Eventually, you trundle to the bus stop just before the hospital. The air brakes let out a hiss, the door rolls open, and you step out, and it feels as if your legs are made of concrete. Each step, a drag that takes centuries. You don't remember getting to the nurse's station and asking about Gwen, but just based solely on the aura that hangs so heavy around you like a death shroud, the nurse, seeming to take pity, she reaches out and touches your shoulder, slight and tiny as it is. And she says, "You're gonna wanna go in the waiting room. I'm assuming you're next of kin."
She'll give a slow nod, not even having the strength to respond to her.
Right. Well, she's in critical condition. We don't know yet, but come with me. And she leads you to this tiny, sterile room where a TV is burbling. You're alone in this room, surprisingly. You sit down on the cushion cover that's been so packed down, it's just like sitting in a hard chair. And you wait. She says something then to you that you don't register, giving you another sympathetic look before she moves on. When she returns, it's briefly setting a water and a cup of coffee in front of you. And so as you watch the steam rise, your gaze naturally drawn to the movement, you feel transparent and lost. You stare at the steam rising and dispersing until it goes cold. I would like you to roll a resolve and composure as this night for you lingers on.
Just 3 successes.
It's enough that when your phone rings, you recognize that it's ringing.
I look at the number,
It's
see if it registers in my head.
It's Peggy with a 3. Yeah, it's Peggy.
I'll pick it up. Peggy?
Hello? Mori.
Hey.
Are you... She goes to launch into some explanation, then stops. What's wrong? You okay? Wait, you sound... Did something happen?
She kind of rubs at her face, hand going into her hair, and says, "Peggy, you need to come down to the hospital."
Oh, What hospital? Are you okay? What happened? Oh, God.
She blurts the address. It's Gwen.
She stops. I'm on my way.
She's in intensive care. They don't know if she's going to make it yet.
What? What happened? Was it an accident? Was it that guy? Did he... The one that came into the tattoo shop, was it him? Did he come back?
You mean... And she takes a deep breath. Did you get their name? Was it... And she just can't say it.
Oh no, this is his name's Ryan, and he's a stalker. Was it him? What happened?
No.
What do you mean she's in critical condition?
It was her brother. It was an accident.
She's just really quiet, trying to figure out the implications.
Jaqi, he's like me. He spiraled out of control and he just wanted her to know.
She goes real quiet.
He's gone too. But I guess in a more permanent sense.
You can sense her tension on the other line. Like she can't fathom words because she's drowning. Her lungs breathing even as they no longer draw breath.
Jaqi, call a taxi. I don't think you should drive now. Just get here soon.
Yeah, okay. Okay. And she hangs up. The nurse comes to check on you at that point. You imagine it's probably been an hour. She glances at the 2 cups, at your face, asks if you need anything.
Mutely just shakes her head no.
Okay. You're majorly left alone at that point. When Peggy arrives, it is probably some 25 minutes later. Her hair looks as if her fingers have been tunneling through over and over and over. There's fine tufts that are tangled. Her face is raw and red. Her eyes are swollen. Her nose reminds you of Rudolph. The moment she sees you, she breaks down.
It's all Mori can do to just go up to her and give her a hug and just hold her. She's going through her own thing right now, but she needs to be strong for her sister.
On top of that, if Mori breaks down and cries, it will be quite the bloody mess here in a very public place. And so you sit, your arms around her, her arms around you, both very lost, and yet somehow found.
I take a moment and make sure to message Aurora what's going on.
Okay. Aurora, you can respond back, and Mori, you can roleplay out what you say.
Mori just sends at hospital address, making sure to keep it on this.
Is that all
Sorry,
you
I'm
say?
late. I love you.
I'm sorry, I'm like crying too. Aurora responds, "Are you okay? Like, what happened? Do I need to come and get you? Are you
Mori
hurt?"
doesn't respond to that because in doing so would be acknowledging what happened, and she can't do that yet. She can't. Because if she does, she won't be able to stop the tears from falling.
Oh no. um.
But she does send a message. I'm safe, don't worry.
Aurora's gonna call you. The text isn't enough. Shit.
Okay. Pick up the phone.
Peggy says, "Go ahead and answer that. I'm." She's gonna drink your cold coffee.
Sorry. And I pick up the phone.
Oh my god, what happened? Were you at the hospital? What happened? Are you hurt? Do
I
you need me to
look
come and
for
help
a
you?
room that it doesn't look like it has cameras or anything like that.
Yeah, there's a bathroom you can lock,
Yeah.
and it's a solo
Go to
bathroom.
the bathroom. Speak quietly because bathrooms tend to be echoey. And I just say, Azriel's gone. Takes a second to breathe. He hurt his sister really bad. She's in intensive care. I knew her before. It was his last request. That's all she says.
Mori, it's okay to cry.
Not here. Not yet.
Then I'll come find you.
Her voice cracks. And she just whispers real quiet. Thank you, Aurora.
I'll be there soon. And sorry, the player's getting very emotional right now. Yeah, she's gonna hang. She's like, "I'm coming for you," and yeah, she's gonna. You just wait, okay? I'm coming for you, and yeah, she's gonna say, end the call with, "I love you," okay? And she's gonna hang up, and yeah, I'll let you play out the scene with Mori, and we'll do meanwhile after.
When the phone hangs up, she leans against the door, looks up, breathes in, slowly sinking to the floor, and grabs her legs in a fetal position, just breathing, just focusing on staying strong, avoiding thinking almost at all for about 5-10 minutes. And then she would head back.
As she sits on the tile floor, tight circular stone floor that's very cold, but she doesn't feel it. Her phone chirps again.
She looks at the caller ID once more.
Robbie.
It's just a text, not a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
I think she looks at it for like a minute or two, deciding whether or not to even bother at this moment. But she does pick it up and look to see what's in the contents.
Where are you? But R and U are just the letters.
I'll send him the address.
He sends back OMW. And then sends, "Please don't tell Damien or Mia."
Very small, just under her breath, like the start of like a laugh that just fades into nothing. which is probably what prompts her to finally get up and go back to Peggy.
Peggy has gotten another cup of coffee since she's finished yours. It's warm in her hand, but it's probably blistering, honestly, but she just doesn't even acknowledge your approach. She's just staring ahead, lost in the desert of her mind.
I pull or sit in the chair next to her and just lean my head against her shoulder.
The
just stay there.
connection kind of seems to pull her out of her internal Sahara, and she leans back. And then again, some 25 minutes later, a slightly roughed up Robbie shows up, taking up the door frame. He's in a leather jacket and a t-shirt. The t-shirt's ripped across the belly. Could be distressed, could be claws. His face is a little dirty, a little damaged. Very superficial. The bruises weren't there earlier, but they are there now. And when he sees you guys, he lets out a breath that he doesn't need to use. Just the shoulders up and down in the motion, even though there's nothing to exhale. And he looks at you, and he looks at Peggy. This kid knows something he shouldn't. It's so obvious. His ability to lie is negligible, just negative. Then he just comes to sit on the other side of Peggy, without a word, hands clasped together.
I think Mori probably logs away in her mind the details of how he looks. Looks like he's been in a fight or something. Looks like he was beat up a little bit. She doesn't have the strength to say anything. But she does reach over and just reach for his hand, give it a squeeze. Thank you. But nothing else.
And so the three of you, like the musketeers, side by side, you sit and you wait and you wait and you wait. And a brief meanwhile, just a note. Damien, you are unable to answer the call because it dumps immediately into voicemail because you're on the phone with Agatha. But you receive a voicemail from Mia. And when you check that voicemail, it says, ran into a problem. I'm handling it. Robbie's pissed. Call me. And
I'm
it's
still on the phone with Egg.
you are. It's while you're still on the phone with her. Mm-hmm. She is flirting up your tree.
I need you to be here right now. That's what I need you to be. Anything more can be talked in person. Not only talking over the phone like that.
That is a shame. You have quite a sexy phone voice. But I am caught up doing you a favor. So you'll have to excuse me ever so slightly.
Is there at least an ETA?
Probably a couple of hours.
All right. That works for me. I can take care of some things in the meantime. I'll just think of another excuse.
Very well.
We should dance sometime.
Oh, we will. We will. And we're going to meanwhile over to Miss Aurora and your conversation with Fenrir and Nina before you get the call and head over to the hospital. All right, Aurora. Where do you talk to these two? Because you're a woofer.
Yeah, she kind of goes to the side and she kind of has her head down, her ears down, very submissively, and she says, "Can I talk to you?"
Fenrir's like, yeah.
Both?
And that's like that
Please?
typical like dog, like, uh-huh. Nina just looks at you. As if waiting for you to continue.
So she kind of like walks to like the edge, like as far away from that site as possible, like edge of the building, like where you can see like, you know, when something's half constructed, there's no railings and everything, and just overlooking the city. And she just sits down and she says, so I don't even know where to begin. I'm not mad. I'm not angry anymore.
Nina
I don't
just
think I
makes a chuffing sound with her big wolfish face.
I don't think I ever could.
It translates to good.
I just feel, and she shakes a little bit, and she's like, I just feel really small and stupid and ignorant.
Fenrir puts a big paw on your head. Not small, just small.
I get why you didn't tell me when I was, you know, a person. But why do you stay with me? You can clearly take care of yourself.
He looks at you like that's the craziest question. It says, because I love you. So I stay. And barks.
And Aurora,
Wags his tail.
Aurora looks at him and she says, I love you too. I'm glad it's not one-sided. I just wasn't sure. I was really scared that maybe a part of me thought you were just, that I was just a temporary thing. That you would once I find out you would leave. Once you found out how useless I am,
He barks, but he's kind of mad.
I'm starting to realize the world is, it was always complicated. I just never thought I'd be in it. I just thought it would be okay to just be an onlooker and read about it.
Nina at that point says, remind me, does Nina have a accent? Kind of, right? Like a little slight one?
Yeah, a little slight one.
You can read as many books as you like.
Yep.
You can experience as many lives as you like, Aurora. But eventually your own life will come knocking and it will force you to live it. Unfortunately for you, you are tainted by an unimaginable disease. But you are Fenrir's, so you are cared for. And then her ears flick as if she's listening to something incredibly far away. And her gaze turns away. She's quiet for a minute. She just makes a
And Aurora turns to Fenrir and she says, what does that mean?
He says, I take care of you.
Why?
You're my human.
I don't understand. Nina, is Fenrir? What is Fenrir? And I'm not saying because I don't love you. I'll always love you no matter what. You're stuck with me. So, you know.
She
But
looks. She's listening. She's quiet. She's listening. And then she looks at you. Fenrir is my brother's child.
is he your mate too? I mean, no, wait, that doesn't make sense. What?
She blinks. No. He is going to help me with, and she shifts uncomfortably. My mate should be dead. And Fenrir, like, whines a little.
I hope they aren't. But if you need my help, I'll help you too.
I hope
You're kind of...
he is.
Oh, well, whatever you need, just ask me. You're important to me too. And for as long as I'm, this, I'll help you.
Good. I am owed a favor by your kind and your pack.
It wouldn't matter. I'd help you anyway.
I do not understand why you have such kindness, but it looks better on you than me. Fenrir
No.
is a dog. And lupus. And Fenrir just like puts out his chest with pride. She says, that is not something to be prideful of. He says, yes it is. I'm a good boy. Aurora loves me and I love her. And I'm going to protect you. I did protect you. I was not...
So your brother with a dog?
She rolls her eyes. I know.
That explains so much.
He prefers to be lupine. Even now, he
Nice.
runs in the wild.
It's not so bad. I wish you could stay like this too.
It's simpler.
But Nina, no matter what happens, I'll try to take care of you. And I'm kind because I know what it is. It feels like when someone's unkind. And I said I would never be like that. I don't want to be like that. I'll protect the people that matter to me, and you matter to me now.
Roll a charisma and animal kin.
Oh, look at how little she has an animal kin. Oh boy. Let me see. Animal kin. Oh, never mind. I have a couple dots. Okay. Oh boy. 4. Darn. Could have been more.
She kind of believes you.
That's fair.
She just does dog snort and is like, you know? Yeah.
It's okay if you're skeptical. There's plenty of people to make you skeptical about the world.
The world
So I'll prove it
is dark.
and cruel. So let me at least be for a moment when you need me. I'll be that tiny, very small point of darkness and light.
All I need from your pack is a place for my children to be raised until I can return them to the wilds. I sense
shall.
they will not be born lupus. And you, without saying it, you can tell that she thinks it's her mate's fault.
And Aurora goes to Nina and just nuzzles her a little bit, like, dogs do. With her ears back, submissive.
It's a casual, you get casually snapped at after a minute,
Mm-hmm.
and you get like the yow yawn that huskies kind of do. Like that.
Yep.
And then Fenrir, like, chest down, butt up, tail wagging, like, yeah. And he goes to nuzzle her and, like, boops her in the butt, and she, like, snarls at him.
Yeah, it's like that wolf thing where they kind of like have their ears down and their tails wagging, so it's not necessarily like they acknowledge it, but they're also happy. Yeah. And yeah, she'll like nuzzle Fenrir, and she'll tell him, it's like, if you want to be like this for as long as I'm alive, you can. But if it's not something you want,
He just says, okay.
I don't think it's that simple. But
For him, it is that simple.
oh, well.
It's a reason I chose to come to him for help. After making sure you are somewhere safe, he left to save me. To hunt.
Does that mean he'll never be able to turn into human person? He's just always be like
He's
big
not
dog
very
or small dog?
he is not very good at it. It is not necessarily a talent he possesses.
So he just turns into bigger dog and small dog.
Roughly. And Fenrir's like, I can turn into a person.
You don't have to. You're fine the way you are.
Yeah.
I'll protect you the way you are.
And he sits down. Look, I'm good. I'm a good boy. I'm handsome.
And Aurora looks at him. She's like, "You're the best boy."
I am. Mm-hmm. And he moves over. He licks your face.
Yeah. And she just like nuzzles him, and she's like, "And I will tell you, if anything happens to you, if anything, I can't. You're my everything."
He chuckles. Don't worry, Aurora. I've been hit by a train and survived.
Oh, no more train hitting.
Nina snorts. Mm-hmm. How about all the other innocent people? Did they survive, Fenrir? No. But I have no buts. I cannot think.
And this is where she gets out of her wild shape and she hugs Fenrir, and she's like, "You're mine forever, okay?"
Just whines at you. Tippy tappies and tail wagging. And then Nina kind of grumbles at him.
"And just know, anything were to happen to you, I'll burn this city to the ground."
He's not really sure what you're saying exactly, but he's very happy you're saying it.
Oh, okay. That's all that matters. And she just like gives him like kisses on the forehead and on the cheeks, and she kind of she has her, she feels a lot better with knowing where she stands with them. So she's gonna go find Stone.
Okay, while you're going to find Stone across town, in the future, because timing, there is Michael sitting down with a Thanatos pet, getting to know each other, and then the swap to Lucian happens. And Thanatos instantly is at Lucius's side. And they are the best of friends. Lucian, this dog is your everything. Not so for Michael. But there is some connection with this sleek animal. It's yours. Quite the good hunting partner he will make.
Artemis did tell me to break some rules, didn't he? I guess I'll choose to break this one. What's your name, boy? And I think he's going to subconsciously use Feral Whispers.
In a posh accent. He says, Thanatos. And he keeps sniffing you. Ears flicking back and forward, sniff, sniff, sniff.
What an obstentious name for a dog. Thanatos. I like it. I'm Lucian.
Okay. You are my friend?
I guess we are. You shall be my first friend.
He barks softly. It's like a whisper bark. Snapping his teeth together. And then licks your hand. He says, you smell like my dad. But I know you're different.
I'm not your dad.
The one who wears your face before is a mockery of everything my dad was. But you are like my uncle, my friend. Different, but the same.
I don't know how much I understand of that.
Dog
But
logic.
I think we'll have to keep you a secret from Master.
Why?
For some reason, he doesn't like you.
He only likes cats.
I don't know.
He has pets.
I don't know.
Thanatos just gets quiet. And then he'll walk beside you. And we're going to meanwhile back over to Aurora. Investigation and awareness. Wits and investigation. I'm sorry. I lied to you.
There we go. That's not very good. It's a 2. Oh.
Okay, you don't find him looking around. But he does find you. He actually, it's terrifying. But what you see are thick veins, thin at first, but then thicker ones that literally stretch across the cement, reaching for each other until they twist and they thicken and pulse and they form stone.
I think that makes her jump for sure because she's never seen this. She's like, whoa, wow.
He has the same unnerving togetherness. And his eyes are a swirling, multicolored oil slick. You are looking for me? There is no expression, micro or otherwise, on his face. His usually deeply medium tanned skin is pallid. His cheeks, razors, the hollow beneath them sunken and cut, defining his chin and jaw. The tattoo that usually runs across his face ripples and then it scatters into his hairline, moving across his skin as if alive.
Aurora kind of just watches him for a solid minute, like fascinated. Just like noticing all the different changes before she kind of realizes, oh, I was going to ask, did you find anything?
I will inform the pack when my investigations are complete.
Is there something that we should be worried about?
He looks still expressionless. There's a flicker of something in his eye. I will inform the pack when my investigation is complete. Which is kind of a blanket statement. Maybe he has things, maybe he doesn't, but he would rather, he's definitely meticulous. He would rather have all of his ducks in a row before he presents them.
All right.
And then, as if out of nowhere, one clawed hand reaches out unnaturally fast, slowing down an inch from your face. The claw is razor and lethal and dirty. And then he just rubs your cheek with one claw, the soft side of the nail, gazing at you with an unknown desire, if you could even call it that.
I think Aurora's going to interpret that as concern because he's been acting really weird. And has she kind of surmised that it's all of them in unison?
Yes, I would say so at this point.
Like, if you're all in agreement, there's something you should know. When we met, when we were in Elysium, I felt it. Something very evil and dangerous. It's like ghost, shadow. Just, I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. You think it's connected? No, I know it's connected to this. I need you to tell me everything you found, or
I will tell you as I told Damien. Thin bloods are involved. And he explains what a thin blood is.
Okay.
And how easy they are to manipulate. He insinuates they're rats and terrified.
Okay. Does he mention the blood?
Mm-hmm.
All right. She'll be like, well, there's more than just Kindred, correct? So do you think they're involved with another group?
Tilts his head. And there's a very slight, creepy, unfurling smile. If it is the changeling, I will be most pleased. And you think
What's the change?
you think it has something to do with eating them, the way he's predatory. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then she says, and she sees to see if when he says that I'll be most, like when he does that last sentence, she sees to see if there's like separation, or if they're all still in unison.
It's hard to tell.
I see. Well, and she kind of like goes to inspect his hand.
It
Just to
is
see like
huge, like a
dirty-
gargoyle claw.
Whoa. Okay, so storyteller could Aurora infer that he's eaten other or taken other other kind or different kinds of like supernaturals and can take on their form?
You don't know.
Okay.
I mean, she can assume that based off of what little she knows of the occult, you know.
Yeah.
But as you're examining his hand, he just tells you, and you think it's courtesy to you that he tells you, but he says, I will be feeding this night when my investigation is complete.
She looks at him, I can't stop you and I'm not going to. How can I? But I can say to please be careful. Okay?
Just a bow of that, his head, and it feels like you're literally talking to some kind of cryptid, the way he moves.
She finds him very interesting right now. The scholarly, like trying to figure out like which cryptid could it be? Like, is cryptids a real thing? Like, is it a real thing? Does he hunt cryptids? You know, that's definitely like swirling in her brain. And she just looks at him, like observing him, like fascinated, kind of like circling him a bit, like just drinking him in.
When you walk behind him, he moves again in an unnatural way, and then his hand is around your throat, but it isn't pressure. And the look that he's giving you reminds you of Sir. And he just squeezes for a second, almost playfully. But there's no micro expressions on the face at all. They're just dead. And then he lets you go. Before he shifts so he's behind you, his huge body looming. You can hear him smelling you. Was there something else you need?
Oh, sorry, just very interesting. But no. I don't, and she kind of like just composes herself again, like, no, I didn't say anything. It was all right. And she's like, no, that's if you need, I understand. Go do what you need to do. Just
You hear a sickening pop and a tear and a wet sound, and you smell blood. When you turn to look at him, like you start your sentence, like, I gotta go, and then you turn to look at him, it's horrific. I actually need you to roll resist frenzy as his flesh.
I was about to say.
His flesh is peeling back, his veins extending and reaching out to the walls, his bones breaking and liquefying. You watch as his eyes turn to jelly and explode.
Oh, wow. Woo-hoo! Full on body horror, y'all. Yeah. All right.
You
All right.
manage not to frenzy with a 4, as the thin
Okay.
membrane of his skin is stretched with like what feels like hundreds of hands that then poke out, and they rip and tear and they gush into blood and sinew and veins, and he travels in the dark like that.
And Aurora's like, that's gross.
All of it.
Even she's like,
It
like,
moves
that's,
like a symbiote. It's
gross. It's like, it feels like a movie. And yeah, she's definitely like interested, but also like, I'm not really a biologist, so.
the worst part is how it smells.
Oh yeah, she's definitely moving away. Yeah, like, she's like, cool, but also no. We'll have to tell him that, like, if he's gonna do that, just out of sight. Great. Next time, just because it's the smell. It's the smell.
And that's the point that you head for the hospital.
How long does it take me to get there?
From any point in the city, it takes about 25 minutes to get to the hospital. But insofar as this, Nina and Fenrir, where do you take them first? Do you take them to the hospital with you?
Yes.
Okay.
And I tell them
You
like,
are
I tell them
delayed
what's-
a little bit because Fenrir has to potty and he has to find the perfect spot to potty. So it's
Oh my god, yeah, I know that feels.
it's a little
10
annoying.
extra minutes.
It's a little annoying. Like, he literally takes like 35 minutes.
So yeah, I'll get to the hospital when I get to the hospital. I rush over to Mori, and I just give her a hug.
Robbie's there looking like trash, but you register it briefly before you move over to Mori. Hug her. Peggy's there. She also looks horrid and strung out. And
Oh my god, what happened? Like, it's just Azriel's sister, right?
at that same moment across town, Damien, you get a text message from Agatha's number, and she says, delayed. I might not have what you need until almost sunrise. And at that point, you've probably heard Mia's message. And Lucien, this is the point in the narrative, because it was like kind of in the future. I think that's the point where you're as Michael trying to get to know Thanatos right before the snap and switch. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go backwards now. Damien, do you have a response to that text message? And then I'll get back to Miss Aurora.
His response will simply be, then hold him till tomorrow. I can't do what I need to do without the proper amount of time. Need be, I can come to you, whatever works.
She says, if you have a moment tonight, do you want to dance?
He stares at the message like for a second. Let me resolve something and I'll see what I can do. I'll let you know.
Okay. And then,
I'll message within the hour.
okay. You can see that she's read it but doesn't respond. Okay. Meanwhile, Aurora and Mori.
Does Mori give her the down low about what happened with his sister or with Azriel's sister?
In a private place, yeah. So, like, probably takes you to the bathroom and just says he tried to show her his powers and went bestial.
I think we can. I need you to take me to her room.
I don't even think I know which room she has, right?
Right.
I can find her room, but I'm not very good at hiding.
Mori will try and use a power. Try to use a Cloak of the Gathering while we're in the restroom with no cameras.
All right. I need you to roll Composure and Resolve, but you still have a -1.
Sounds good. Nope. 2 successes.
She isn't able to do it.
I can't.
Let's go. I think I can save her. I think I can save Azriel's sister. But I need to find a way to get into her room. We need to talk to Robbie. And I say, Robbie, can we talk to you for a moment?
You go back out in the waiting room?
Yeah. Wait, I have an idea. And so I tell Robbie exactly what I tell Mori. I'm like very, very hush, very
After
whispering.
you pull him into the bathroom?
Not into the girls' bathroom, but like we go to like a private part.
Oh, yeah, there's private family bathrooms.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I tell Robbie, I'm like, I think I can save her. Do you have anything? Do you know if there's? Can you do something that'll like make the nurses tell the room or let us in?
I could try.
If you don't feel confident, I think I have another idea, but I might need you guys to cause some sort of distraction. And never tried this before, so we'll see. And Aurora turns into a cat. A little black cat.
Robbie immediately picks you up, starts petting you.
Aurora's just like really like trying to get away from Robbie because it's weird. It's weird. And he just shoots Robbie a look.
Pets you again, but you're on the ground.
Just gives you a look of like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck? You know, that what the fuck look cats give you, and they kind of like does a little back arch.
I can convince them. I just gotta look them in the eye. The people, I mean.
Yeah. By the way, I am using one of the things that we got on our Lilith power. Like, that's one of the free animal shape things we got. So, do you need me to do a rouse check for that?
Sure.
Okay. Delicioso. And so I'll just be like, and then Aurora nods and kind of like looks at Mori. It's like therapy cat, you know, whatever you want.
Yeah.
it's kind of dependent, like just try to get her into the room.
Right. I will just hold the kitty as we go to get Robbie to give the information. Just hold very gently, just kind of, as cuddly as you can get with a cat.
Oh yeah, Aurora purring, like not meows, just purring. So many purrs.
Yep. Just falls behind.
You guys leave Peggy.
Peggy, give us a second. We might be able to do something to help.
And the cat nods.
Jeez. Okay. When you two turn around, Robbie's looking at his phone, which is probably about it blown up from his sister and maybe even Damien. And he lets out an exhale, and there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of like, what are you hiding? And he says, let's, you see that he makes a definitive choice. You're not sure why or where this choice comes from. But he says, let's do this.
The cat gives her or as the cat puts her little cat paw on his hand and nods and looks up at him. Big green eyes.
And this is where we're going to end tonight.
Woo!
We're gonna try to save Azriel's sister. We're gonna see how that works.
Yep.
I'm rooting for you guys.